Lately, it feels like every other week there's a new AI tool popping up that promises to solve all our content creation problems. There are literally dozens of options for editing, clipping, and repurposing content, and it's getting nearly impossible to figure out which ones are actually useful versus which ones are just hype. I finally got fed up with the guesswork, so I decided to run a proper deep dive test to settle the debate once and for all. I took one long video and ran it through 16 different popular repurposing and editing tools to see which ones really make my life easier. To keep things fair, I used the exact same 10-minute source footage for every single tool I tested. The footage was a cinematic long-form clip of a Marine officer on a wooden ship under bright sun, overlooking a calm turquoise sea. It included white sails, seagulls, sunlight reflecting on the water, and a specific camera move that was perfect for testing how well a tool clips a scene. I performed all the testing inside a single workflow platform, which saved me hours and kept the comparisons incredibly consistent. Let's walk through what I found, starting with a few familiar names and moving into the rest of the lineup. I'll break down what each tool did well, where they struggled, and where Vizard fits into the bigger picture. First up were the Kling family of editors, which have been getting a lot of buzz for producing cinematic clips fast. Kling 2.5 is the latest version, and on the clipping front, it did a fantastic job detecting the right cinematic beats. It matched the camera move with the swell of an ambient sound, making the short feel like a polished, professional moment. If you want polished single clips without the fuss, Kling 2.5 definitely lands in the top tier for budget-conscious creators. Kling 2.1, the previous flagship, was solid, but it tried a bit too hard to color grade and punch contrast, which felt over-processed. It was decent, but I'd call it a B-tier option for someone who prioritizes looks over speed or overall workflow efficiency. Kling 1.6, the old version, was rough. It missed obvious moments, the timing was off, and I'd suggest skipping that one entirely. Next, I checked out Cadence, a tool built specifically for multi-shot highlights. It used the whole scene well and produced sequences that felt like a cohesive short scene rather than just random cuts. My only gripe was the environmental sounds, which felt a touch synthetic compared to the very best tools out there. Still, its speed and balance between automation and controls make it a nice A-tier option for editors who need reliable exports. Then I pushed Sora 2, one of the newest, highest-end systems, through the same source footage. Running at max settings, Sora 2 delivers the kind of nuance that makes a clip feel truly editorial and high-end. It even suggested slightly different crops and punch-in moments that would make great social media cuts. The trade-off is the cost, but the end result is stunning, making it a top contender for pure output quality. I also tested 3 versions of the Huan model, which are known for realistic motion handling. Huan 2.1 was surprisingly dependable, choosing coherent moments with smooth motion where the lighting stayed consistent. Huan 2.2, however, was weirdly inconsistent on this file, picking clips with laggy motion that felt awkward. Huan 2.5 bounced back nicely with cleaner colors and a better sense of depth thanks to improved audio sync. The Google VO lineup was interesting because these feel specifically engineered for cinematic repurposing. VO 3.1, their newest model, really nailed the ambient audio and subtle sound design that sells the clip's immersion. I tried 3 Hio variants too, but the standard version was flat and couldn't find the dynamic moments I needed. Hio 2.3 was a real upgrade, offering better physics and more natural motion, making it a solid A-tier choice. Pixar's 5 surprised me, as it's a standalone that balances price and polish perfectly. It picked great short-form beats and felt natural, which makes it a very strong contender in the market. I also checked faster, stylized options like VidQ1, which generates results in about 30 seconds. While the output feels a bit like a still with motion added, it's a great tool if you prioritize speed above all else. Huan made okay clips, but it was painfully slow, which really killed its practical value for busy creators. So where does Vizard fit into all of this amidst all these other models? Vizard isn't trying to be a one-shot cinematic generator, it's an AI repurposing engine built for consistent short-form content. The biggest gap in the market is that many tools produce a pretty clip once, but they don't solve the daily content grind. Vizard's auto-editing consistently hit the viral beats I would manually choose, like the glance or the environmental hook. Then there's the auto schedule feature, which allows you to set your frequency and publish automatically across weeks. Being able to tweak and publish clips from a centralized calendar meant I wasn't jumping between dashboards all day. To sum it up, the absolute best 3 for pure cinematic quality were Sora 2, Kling 2.5, and Google VO 3.1. But for creators who need to run a full content machine, Vizard hits a much more practical sweet spot. It's not trying to out-CGI the high-end generators, it's trying to save you hours every single week. If you want to experiment yourself, use a platform that lets you batch your source content around different models. For anyone serious about turning one long session into a month of content without burning out, Vizard is worth testing. It may not be the flashiest tool for solitary cinematic magic, but for day-to-day growth, it's the one that actually scales. Thanks for sitting through this nerdy breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one.